No intro today, man. The Eagles have hit rock bottom. That is the fact of the matter. After that excruciating loss last night, the Eagles have even hit a lower low. RB here. Welcome in A to Z Philly. Drop a like, subscribe, ring the bell. Don't miss the coverage. We've been breaking it down all year long, and we will be all week long into the playoff game on Monday night. If there's any hope, can we get motivated for this game? The matchup has been set. Eagles and Bucks wild card weekend, and for some reason, they put them on the ESPN primetime slot game on Monday night at 8 p.m. They will be the lone Monday game. Give me your thoughts down below right now. We'll preview more into the week. We'll break it down. I just want to kind of talk about how we're feeling today, but I want you to let me know down below. Do they have any shot at beating the Buccaneers next week? Give me your thoughts before I jump into mine. Let me give a shout out to our sponsor of today's show, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. All right, let's jump into this, man. Let's cut the crap. There's nothing really to get to. I want to talk about the injuries first and foremost. Jalen Hurts, according to Tom Pelissero, has no fracture in his middle finger on his throwing hand that was dislocated, right? We had the Jalen Hurts memes yesterday. His fingers pointing 3 different directions. He should have never played to begin with. But after undergoing x-rays, there is no fracture, which is a good sign. He should be good to play. Let's hope he can actually grip the ball and throw. We'll see how it goes. This is the 3rd straight year that he is going into the playoffs, sustaining an injury and having to deal with it. So we'll see. Hurts has an extra day to rest the finger with the Eagles going on Monday night to the Bucks in the first round of the playoffs. Also, A.J. Brown, according to John Clark, is feeling better this morning, says the Eagles are awaiting the results of the MRI, but Nick said that they were hopeful about A.J., and A.J. was greeting all his teammates last night as they entered the locker room, just like he probably did at that players-only team meeting. Glad they had fun at the escape room, but the fact of the matter is they quit, and I'm just thinking about that game yesterday. I don't even want to look at the damn box score because I still want to vomit. That's how pissed off I am. And yes, I'm still pissed off, but now it's to the point of more of devastation and disgust. Do we really think the Eagles are going to win next week? I'm seeing people out there saying, well, if there's one team they can beat, if there's one matchup they can exploit, it's Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. I don't think the Eagles can beat anybody on the planet right now. They lost to the Cardinals. They lost to the Giants. And I told you all here 4 weeks ago, numerous times, that loss against Seattle, after you decide to bring in Patricia and he lets Drew Lock go on a 92-yard game-winning drive, that drive absolutely cracked this team. It broke this team. It took my soul out, and it has never been the same since. But now, like even yesterday, you see the way that they're playing, not even trying to tackle. They just gave up. They absolutely gave up, and they don't believe. They don't believe at all. AJ tried to rejuvenate everybody one last time, but it's just not there. Speaking of yesterday, Linc Martindale in the Giants' final game this year and Saquon's probable final game in New York and a bunch of other things, had a really good approach to the Eagles. Nick Sirianni talked about it today. We'll get to that. But the Giants, this was their last game employing Linc Martindale. Don Martindale, Linc Martindale, one of the best coordinators in the league. Obviously, they have struggled this year, but they've had roster issues, etc. Longtime coordinator, has an approach, likes to send pressure, and they were number 2 in the league in blitzing this year. By the way, Bucks are number 3. Guess who the Eagles are playing next week? Who everybody thinks are going to beat now? The Bucks. They're going to bring pressure. They're going to watch this film. You hear that, Brian Johnson? Take notes. When something is successful, watch film. Try to replicate. But anyway, I digress. Hey, Wink. First off, the Eagles should have 100% interest in you. Hopefully, they will inquire about you after the season. But matter of fact, let's not even wait. Wink, what you doing next week at 8 p.m., man? You available? I know you decided to part ways. You didn't get fired, quote unquote, but more so resigned or parted ways or mutually decided to go different routes, whatever it is. You available next week? Shoot, Eagles may as well bring you in now. Bring him in as an advisor or whatever you want to call it. Let him call plays, because right now, I just never have seen a situation where the Eagles or a team in general replace a coach and their unit gets 10 times worse. The defense has no hope, man. They're not even trying. It is insane. Speaking of that, Nick Sirianni talked to the media today, and he was asked about the Eagles' struggles against the blitz, against Linc Martindale's blitz, and he says, that's on him. Their plan clearly wasn't good enough. Yeah, you think so? You think so, Nick? Captain Obvious? You think so? How are you going to get this team motivated? How are you going to fix it? All that rah-rah crap last night was sweet. You know, it was great. It was great. Let's continue to be rah-rah. We're 0-0. We're going on a run. How are we going to do that? How are you going to fix the 41 issues that exist with this team? The only guy I will give credit to last night, because I watched a lot of press conferences, even against my will, the only guy that actually stood up and said it for what it was Jason Kelce. And he said, quote, it effing sucks the way we've played the last 6 games. You think Kelce's reflecting about his entire career thinking, I'm going to go out this sad with this team? This is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. Quote, all you can do is look in the mirror and go back to work. I know people get tired of hearing that. The only thing you can do is go back to work and have honest discussions. That's a fact. Thank you. Can we make Kelce the coach for next week? Only guy speaking it how it is. Nick Sirianni today said, or answered in terms of whether he'll make any changes in play calling ahead of the playoffs. No. That's what Nick Sirianni says. No, nothing is going to change. And I really, really wish I could sit up here and say that I had hope. And there's one area of the game where the Eagles are going to exploit the Buccaneers. But right now, I don't think they can beat anybody. And when you have Nick Sirianni, who looked like he's going through a divorce right now, coming up to the podium and saying, we're not going to change anything, how am I supposed to believe? How am I supposed to be positive about that? I don't think it's realistic or reasonable to fire the coach before a playoff game. That's never happened. It never will. And, you know, obviously you don't want to change a coordinator going into a playoff game. It's a very, very tough situation to be in. But I would love to hear what kind of things you're going to implement, how you're going to get more creative. There's a video surfacing of Chad Ochocinco, who's been in Philadelphia for the past year or two, and he's talking about, oh, the Eagles were just in kind of cruise control mode, and they were just waiting and seeing, and they're going to come out here and whoop people in the playoffs. Give me a break, man. The team does not believe. Playing bad is one thing, but not having any trust in your coaches and your system is a whole nother thing, man. And it has been bad. The Eagles have literally hit rock bottom. I've never seen a collapse like this. They're the first team ever to go 10-1 and not finish with more than 11 wins. That is insane, man. That's insane. Victor Williams puts the Eagles' defensive stats comparison last year to this year. I mean, it's night and day, man. They're the bottom half of everything. They don't get pressure. They're dropping Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat into coverage. The guys can't tackle. There's a video going around. I think it was Eli Ricks or Keely Ringo or one of them who tried to tackle with his shoulder. Like, they're not even trying. They don't know what they're doing. And I think it has gotten so putrid to this point where they don't even believe in their own abilities anymore. They're starting to, double think certain things like normal routine plays or whatever. They just don't know what to do. They're confused. And Brian Johnson's going to come out here with the same 5 plays in a playoff game. And Matt Patricia's not going to bring any pressure. And look, man, I mean, there's a lot of conversation going around. I don't know whether Nick will get fired or not. But let me say this. If they do get walloped by the Bucs, say they were to get embarrassed in this playoff game, you might have to give it a little consideration. Maybe it's an overkill. Maybe it's a reach. But if you get embarrassed yet again by the Bucs, who, by the way, struggled to put up 10 points on a 2-win team yesterday, you got to at least consider. You have to at least consider. You have to find a way to give a jolt and revolt against what's going on right here and to bring these players back to life because they have talent here. They really do. But, the players obviously get blamed for sure for the way they're playing, but they just don't believe in a philosophy. And the last thing I'll end it off with is Javon Hargrave, former Eagle, who right now is on the number 1 seed again, this time in San Fran. And he was asked today about the difference in practicing between Philly and San Fran. Here's what he said, quote, "It's extremely hard at practice here, more demanding. I think it's more so like Golden State coaching in Miami Heat. Over here, it's the Miami Heat. Over there, it's Golden State because it's more relaxed. You're chilling. Over here, nah, it's working every day. You're about to get it. I feel like Kyle is Pat Riley. You know what you're getting over here. When I first got here, I was looking at this kind of crazy. Some of the stuff we were doing, I was like, I can't believe y'all are doing this right now. A war every day. There's been a lot of conversation about this before, but maybe Nick Sirianni and this team is going too light in practice. Maybe they're not preaching that dog mentality and, you got to go out there and earn it every day. Maybe that's where they're at, man. Maybe that's why this is resulting the way it is. But I think going back to the core issue, man, you have coordinators that are not inventive. They're not creative. They can't do anything to get in rhythm. And I think the Eagles tried to replace one of those coordinators, and Sean Desai got scapegoated, and then the players stopped believing even more. And I think they're just wondering why their talents are not being utilized. All year we've said it. It's like you have a bag of tools, a bag of tricks, and you don't even dive into it. It's crazy, man. But when you're out here getting embarrassed by some of these really bad teams, you're going into the playoffs. I've never seen a fan base, a pulse right now, and a lot of people be so pessimistic about even competing in a playoff game. I mean, you have 11 wins, and people, are giving this team no chance. And right now I am as well. Maybe a 10% chance to win this game. We'll see. But it's going to be tough on the road. Can the Eagles try to pull it out? Can they figure it out? We'll just have to wait and see. We'll talk about it more this week. But right now it feels like they have hit rock bottom. And the question is, what do they do about it? Give me your thoughts down below in the comments section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.